Good morning, students. Welcome to the OOAD session. Let's start the day with the OOAD, particularly association. Today's topic we are going to see about association list. In the previous classes, we saw a little bit about association. What is unidirectional, what is bidirectional association, then the different things under association, aggregation, composition, etc. Apart from that, we are going to see some more terms related to association. Particularly, we are going to see about association list, and then we are going to see two case studies, the next gen POS system and then the monopoly game. Yes. So before getting into this, just we have a quick review about the yesterday topic. Yesterday we saw about the candidate conceptual class, then how to draw the initial domain model for any use case or the case study. Then a very important thing we saw is a description class. So a class that contains information which describes something, that is called as the description class. In order to avoid the over clumsy of data or clumsy of attributes in a particular class, we can go for description class at some points wherever needed. Okay, it's not necessary to give description class in all scenarios. Wherever needed, wherever applicable, we can go for the description class. We saw the example. Instead of giving the description itself as an attribute in a class, you can make it as a separate class. You can have the item description or product description as a separate class. In that, you can mention its related attributes. In this way, we can give the description class. It must describe some class. Okay, it must describe some attributes in detail. I told that example, Reynolds pen, like that. Some other example also I want to mention. Suppose you are having a flight reservation system or flight management system. You are having all the details of the flights. Okay, suppose assume that in a particular day a plane crashes. Okay, it's not necessary that all the details about the plane has been deleted. The plane has crashed on that particular day, but the flight database, the flight description must contain all the details about the flight. Though the flight gets crashed, you should have the information about the flight. Yes, for that you are using the description class. Yes, and also we saw the conditions where to use the description class and all. Now we are moving into the domain model and design model. Yesterday I mentioned this diagram. You notice the difference between the domain model and the design model. A domain model is the visualization of a real world thing or a real world object, okay, or any real world concept. Just you are going to visualize using what? Using the class diagram. Just you are mentioning what? Class the name and the attributes. That's enough for the domain model. But using those attributes, what I am going to do? What operations I'm going to perform? That can be done using the UP design model. And also you have to mention the data types for the attributes that are mentioned. That is the difference between the domain model and the design model. Then I told that we will discuss in detail today. Yesterday at the end of the session, we have seen this table. So these are the disciplines that are related to the domain model. This you know already. So left side you are having the disciplines: business modeling, requirements, requirements discipline or requirements phase, then design phase, implementation, project management, testing, and then the last is the environment. So what are the artifacts that are related to these disciplines? You have to identify. In this way you have to draw. If any example is or in general, if the domain model is as means, you can write this table also. So these are the artifacts. The domain model is an artifact. We saw 7 to 8 artifacts in elaboration phase. Yes. So these are the general artifacts that are used in each phase. So use case model, then vision, supplementary specification, glossary, all these 4 artifacts are needed for whom? Needed during the requirement stage. In the bracket, it's mentioned as SSD. It's nothing but system sequence diagrams. We'll see in the end of the second unit how you are going to relate the use cases with SSD. System sequence diagram. Okay. Then in the requirement phase, you must be aware of what? You must clearly denote the vision of the project or vision of the problem statement. Then supplementary specification. Apart from the main specification, main requirement specification, you have to mention the supplementary details also. Then glossary. Glossary means what? Collection of words or collection of things that are used for the particular application. That is the glossary. Then for the design discipline, excuse me, for the design discipline, we need these three artifacts: design model, software architecture document, and then the data model. These three only we are discussing in this class, in this unit. Yes, in detail. How a design model to be built, what are the software architecture that we are seeing. In the video also, I have shown the role of the software architect. So these are the artifacts related to design phase. Then for the implementation phase, by default, what we need? Implementation model. You have to make a model before getting into implementation. So this function has to perform these statements. This code, particular routine has to do some task. Like this, you have to make a model. Then only you can go for the implementation. Okay. Then the project management. For this management, you have to you have to plan a software development. You have to make a software development plan. This is an important artifact. In the 7th semester, you will study one separate paper called software project management. It's a very interesting and a very common practical oriented paper. The prerequisite for this software project management is the OOAD. Similarly, the prerequisite for OOAD is what? Software engineering. You know the basic things in software engineering. With that only we are getting into detail. How a particular phase work, how the inception, elaboration, all those things work, how the diagrams are useful during the design phase. Yes. So during project management, this software development plan plays a major role. So you might be aware of project manager in any software company. So under project manager, he'll have, for example, he may have 10 to 15 teams. A project manager can have, because the project contains 10 to 15 modules. Assume that it contains 15 modules. So 15 modules can be divided into what? Each team. So each team will be monitored by a team manager, team leader. Under team leader, the persons will be there, software developers or the designers. Based on the module, they will be working. So they have to report to the team leader. Team leader will report to the project manager. Yes, those managers, there will be different projects running at the same time in a company. The managers, they will report to the higher official. Okay, either the project consultant or AO, I mean managing director or associate director. There is one role called AD, associate director. So these are the higher officials. So likewise, the hierarchy goes in a software company. Yes. So next, with respect to testing discipline, we have what? The artifact needed is test model. You have to build a model for testing also. In that model, you have to apply your application, whether it is working or not. If it has some flaws, means you have to rectify it. Yes. Finally, for deployment, for the environment discipline, we need the development case, because you are going to actually deploy it to the user. Deployments means releasing the product to the end user or the customer. It's different from execution. Execution means we are just executing a program or executing a project, but we can't execute a product. We have to deploy a product. That is the difference between the execution or implementation and the deployment. After making a complete model, you have to release the particular product into the market. Then only it can be used by the end users. They may find some flaws after the deployment also. Then that has also to be rectified from the development side. Yes. So these are the artifacts related to the discipline. Now come to this one, 4 parts. These are the 4 phases just given shortly. Inception phase, elaboration, construction, and transition. Here I have mentioned I1. I1 means what? Inception phase contains only one iteration. These are the different iterations that are taking place, in which phase these artifacts are used. That is mentioned. Then elaboration phase contains, it may have 5 iterations, 6 iterations. I have mentioned it has 4 to 6 to 8 iterations. Yes. Then the construction phase also may have what? Different iterations, C1 to Cn. Finally, transition phase containing 2 iterations. Yes. So these are the stages with respect to the artifact. So domain model is starting in the elaboration phase only. I can't start the domain model in the inception phase. S stands for start, where that artifact actually gets started. Okay, R stands for refine, not release, refine. Refine means what? I'm going to add some features. I'm going to enhance the features. In that thing, I can reduce the risk also. For that only, you are going for refinement. Yes. So use case model, though it starts at inception phase, it has some refinement in the elaboration phase. Similarly, vision, glossary, all the requirements can have refinement in the elaboration phase, because before getting into construction, you have to refine, you have to fix it properly. Then the design model. Design model actually started elaboration, then refinement at the construction phase. You are having software architect document. It's starting in the elaboration and it end in the elaboration phase itself. Similarly, you are having start and release for, refine for the different artifacts. Yes. The question is asked, explain the domain models with respect to the phases of UP. Like this means you have to explain with this table. This is the generalized table. For any case study, you can relate some terms. Implementation means implementing the library management system. Developing a plan for library management system. Like that you have to add for the particular project. Yes. Okay. Now we are getting into association. There are so many terms related to association. Some the last week also I have mentioned during the starting of the second unit. We can simply relate one class with other class by drawing a line between the two classes. Yes, same example. I'm having faculty as one class and student as another class. Faculty, teacher, student. So you can put what? Just a line between the two classes. The classes can be represented as a simple rectangle. Okay. That is the association, general association. But inside that you are having so many terms in association. We have seen part of it in the previous classes. Now we are going to see some more things in detail. Okay. What an association denotes? It denotes the relationship between the classes. Semantic relationship. Semantic means what? Some meaningful relationship. Yes. Classes should be associated in a meaningful way. That is important. So that is given by the association. The notation for association is what? A solid line. A normal dashed line, not a arrow mark or dotted line, a solid line connecting the two classes. But the thing you have to remember is you should avoid too many associations in a domain model. We are going to construct a domain model for the next gen POS or Monopoly game. Yes, don't think that you have to associate one class with all the other classes. Okay, so whichever class is related, whichever classes are related, that classes only to be associated. So avoid too many associations. And also this association is not a statement about the data flows. It represents the meaningful connection between the two statements. It does not tell about any statement. It does not give a description about the data flow. Just it connects two classes. Okay. Each end of association is called as what? Role. I have mentioned. The role of the person is what? Teacher. Yes, so person can be a class. At the end of the rectangle, you can make a small part and you can write what? Teacher or what? Counselor, coordinator, like that. The person can play different roles. In that particular application, what is the role you have to mention? I'll give one example, we can look at it. So that roles can have what? These three parts: multiplicity expression, a name, or a navigability. All these three are optional only, but if you are asked to draw a class diagram, try to apply all these notations. Then only your class diagram will look pleasant and attractive. Okay. Though these are optional, if possible, if applicable, you can give the navigability. You can give the multiplicity expression, or you can give the name. The role can have what? Multiplicity. Multiplicity we saw in the previous classes. 1 to 1, 1 to n, like that. You can also specify a particular range also for multiplicity. Then name of the role. You may be a student, can be a class. Yes, student is a particular class. Under that student, you can be what? A ORC coordinator or UA coordinator, like that, or any class representative. Like that, you are playing a different role. You are playing a specific role. That role you can mention. A blood donor, you can be a blood donor. You can be a social worker. Yes, you can be a sportsman, player, cricket player. So if your class diagram is associated to any sports or any cricket management system, like that, means you mentioned student as a class. In that, what is the role of the student? He's playing cricket, player. Player is the role. You can attach that name at the end of the association. Yes, so that is the role of the name. The third one is navigability. Navigable means what? Traveling, traversing, or in particular where I am going to now, from which class to which class I have to traverse. You can give it with a particular symbol, that is called as navigability. Yes, so these are the other things related to association. In general, you can associate one class with other class either unidirectional or using bidirectional. Now let's see the examples. Hereafter we are going to see different examples only, and as told earlier, we are going to look at two case studies. The two important case studies throughout your syllabus is what? The next gen POS system and the Monopoly game. Okay, but this is a general one. Just I am mentioning how an association can be represented. We have two diagrams. So let's see the first one. You are having two classes, company and a person. So you have to make some verb class here. I told about verb class, C-L-A-U-S-E, not class, verb class. So how I am relating the two classes? Yes, a person works for company. It's not a company works for person. N number, how many persons? N number of persons working for how many company? One company. So this 1 and n are called what? Multiplicity. Yes, except the navigability, all that is first two things are represented here. The next diagram will see the navigability. So n persons, n number of persons associated to one company. How they are associated? They are working. They are working for the particular company. Now you can mention the role also. Yes, what is the name? Second one. Name of the particular role. Here the name of particular person here is what? Employee. You have to mention at the end of the association only. You can't mention this employee here in the middle or in this side like this. Okay. You have to mention at the end. Where at the end of the association you have to mention. If you are not going to specify the role means just leave it. No problem. You can have the class name itself. Yes. So here the class name is person. In particular, the role of person is what? Employee. Because he is associated to company. Suppose if the person is associated to college, instead of company, you are having college means what will be the role of the person? Can anyone put in chat quickly? Suppose you are having the same thing, person as one class, and instead of company, you are having college as another class. What will be the role of the person? What can be the roles of the persons? Be interactive, students. Need answers in yes, student. Good. Only student. All are putting student. Yes, faculty, teacher. Very good. Professors, professor. Oh, other than that, what? Accounts officer, peon. Yes. Pune may also be there, but you have to relate the correct verb class for that particular Pune or the scavenger, anybody. Yes, administrator, so many things. So you have to specify the particular role accordingly. Suppose the role of the person is here, Pune means you have to mention the correct role here also. Pune working for the college. What is the particular work you have to mention? But in general, we are relating what? Student, faculty, administrative officer, or the HOD. The role of the person can be HOD. HOD, yes, supervises the department, particular department, controls the department. Like that, you can have. Then look at this symbol. What this symbol denotes, I have told in the second or third class. And one more thing you have to notice. I am mentioning this symbol and I am relating with the dotted lines, a normal dotted line. It is what? Note, note symbol. Yes?
It's a description.
Anything?
It's a description, ma.
Yes, description. Good. It's a description, or just when compared to programming language, you are giving what? Command line. It's like a command line. Yes, I am describing the particular part, or I am specifying the particular part. Good. So here it is the concepts extension, because somebody looking at the class diagram for the first time, he may not be aware of the class diagram. So he can look at the description or the note. This is called as the dog-eared symbol, a dog-eared rectangle. You have to make a slight slag here. It's not a normal rectangle. A normal rectangle denotes the class. This you have to just make a tilt in this corner. In the top right corner only you have to do. That is the notation for the note symbol. Then you have to relate this note with the particular word or particular class through normal dotted lines, not any arrow mark or anything. These notations you have to be very careful. Yes. So next, second example, we are having two classes, register class and sale class. Which case study this class diagram is related to? It is related to which case study? You are having two classes, register class and sale class. So automatically it is the next gen POS. Next gen POS system, point of sale system. So here the register records the current sale. One register recording one sale. Suppose I am purchasing one particular set of items on a particular date and time, means my purchase is considered as one sale. That will be recorded in your database or the register. Yes, so for that, one register recording one sale. I mention it as association. You can have it as association. This line is your association. This is your association. Okay. In this way, you have to draw the class diagram in detail. Now, these are also different ways of representation. This you can give the note symbol for multiplicity also. One store stocking many items. This is star. This one is star. Star denotes many. One store having what? Many items. Or one store storing many items. Stocks. Better you have to give some verb class here while associating two classes. It will be more easy to understand. Okay. So the second diagram, this is the navigability notation. This arrow mark, a filled arrow mark. That's all. There is no line and all. Okay. If I'm mentioning a line with arrow mark, means it denotes what? That generalization, realization and all. Okay. Don't get confused. Just you have to make a arrow mark, filled arrow mark symbol. That's it. So a person has many bank accounts. How I am navigating means from person class to bank class, bank account class. Because in the previous example, you can see where the navigability is from person to company only. You can't say one company works for n persons. It's not logically right. Okay, so n persons, n number of persons work for what? One company. Here you have to give arrow mark here. Yes, in this direction. It has to denote to the company. That is the navigability. Wherever possible, you have to mention the navigability. By default, we may associate from left side to right side, but it is not applicable. It's not meaningful for all the classes. At that situation, you have to mention the navigability. This is the symbol for navigability. So how can you associate one person having what? Many bank accounts. That is the example. Now look at the third example, airline system. You may think that a flight, many flight associated to whom? One airport. But many flight may go to that particular airport and many flight may depart from the particular airport. Both will be different, though you are having two classes, two same classes. In that situation, you can mention it separately. This is also a valid association. Yes, I have mentioned two association. Yeah, many flight flies to one airport. This is a way of relating the class. Similarly, how can you read here? Many flights flies from what? Flies from particular airport. Okay. So like this, you can mention two association in a single class. From the airport, many flight flies. You can give the navigability also. So these are the different ways of representing the association. Now, association itself is an important big question. It can be asked in 16 mark also. For a given library management system, identify the actors, draw the use case diagram and class diagram. If it is as means, don't simply put two boxes, connect those two lines, that it's not enough. You have to mention navigability, multiplicity, role, then what? If applicable, you can give generalization, then aggregation, composition, all those things you can give. Okay. So for drawing the association, you can use any of these categories. These are the general categories in such a way that two classes can be associated. By default, your association will fall in any one of these categories only. We are going to look at this using two case studies. Yes, just have a look at all these categories. In the right side, you are having the example with respect to either POS or the flight airplane system. Yes. So first category you can see how two classes are associated. That is given here. Now don't get panic on looking at the table. How two classes can be associated. Yes, he can be a member. He can be used as an object. He means that that thing can be used as an object for another class. Okay, it can be a description like that. That is given in the left side as categories. Let's see one by one. First one, A is a transaction related to another transaction B. Here, capital A and capital B denotes two classes. In general, I'm mentioning. So A is a transaction related to another transaction B. On the right side, look at the example. You can relate what? Cash payment class with reservation class. Yes, or with sale cancellation class. So it is a some transaction is going on between what? Cash payment and the reservation, or cash payment and the sale cancellation. So in this thing, way you can relate. Then second one, A is a line item. Line item is generally related to any transaction related applications. Yes. Last class we saw that POS system, we are having what? Sale line item. SLI. Sale line item means that particular purchase of a customer. That is your current sale line item. It is related to which class? It is related to sale class. Many sale line items can be associated to one sale class. Yes. Third one, A can be a product for another class. A and B are two classes. A is a product of B. So item is a product. A flight is a product. like this. So item and sale item for one class. Flight reservation, it is related to flight system. Don't get confused. Similarly, A can be a role. A is a role related to B. So customer is a role, or payment passenger. Passenger is a role associated to which class? Customer. A is a physical or logical part. These things we will see in the case study. You will get more clear idea. Logical part for any for the Monopoly game, a board is a part. That is the squares. Squares inside the board is a part of the board. You can relate those two classes. Then A is physically contained in B. Yes, library containing books. Library has one class and books has other class. Okay. A shelf containing many notebooks. Shelf has one class. Like that you can describe. A is a description. We saw the description class that is mentioned here. A is known to B. A is a member of B. A is a subunit of me. A is a member of B. Cashier, store player, etc. A uses B. A student uses library. Yes, student uses canteen. Canteen can be a class. So A and B are related using the users or managers. Finally, A is next to B. I can relate it to the other sequences. So these are the different categories of association list. Your association surely fall in any of these categories only. If you go for any example, you can relate with any of these categories only. Okay. We will see the association list for two case studies, the next gen and the Monopoly game. I think no need to explain these two case studies. We are seeing these case studies only so far. A normal purchase of a product in a departmental store, that is considered as your next gen. This we have seen yesterday. Initial, how we are going to construct an initial domain model. Initial domain model means what? First identifying the classes. For that you can use the list or you can use the noun phrases. So these are the different classes that are used for the next gen POS. So based on these classes, what I am going to do means I am going to construct a partial domain model. I hope you are able to see clearly. It can be considered as a big diagram, but if you look at it keenly, just you are explaining all the parts of the POS only. These 8 classes, 1, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 classes only I have mentioned here. 4, 5, 6, 7, yes. 10 classes we are having here. 11 classes only. Instead of manager, here you are having a manager as class. Instead of that manager, you are having here a ledger. That is, that role is not present here. You can include that manager also somewhere in this plot. Here you are having ledger. Just look at this diagram. In this way, you have to construct a domain model for any application or for any case study. Don't simply put two classes. Don't simply connect. This is the way. You have to give the role. You have to give the multiplicity, verb class, etc. Yes. Where can we start? We can start from the sale. You can start at any place, but all the classes are associated in some way. So suppose you are starting from sale means this is your class name. What is the second part? Attribute name. Your domain model may or may not contain attributes also. Yes, but the class name is compulsorily needed. So your sale. Many sale are present in what? One ledger. Yes. Similarly, this one, how can you see? 0 to 1 sale captured on one register. Yes. A big part of register can be your ledger. Because at the end, you are having all the details in the ledger. Similarly, a sale. One sale paid by whom? One sale paid by cash payment. Who is paying? One sale is for one customer. One sale means one particular transaction. That is applicable for one customer only. Similarly, how many payment? One payment. Here I have mentioned cash payment. Other than that, what can I give? I can give it simply as a payment itself as a class. Instead of cash payment, you can have what? Payment. Under payment, you can have three types. What are those? Cash, credit payment, or check payment. Through generalization, you can also relate. Yes? Now come to this one. Register and cashier. 0 to 1 register. Related to whom? 0 to 1 cashier. Yes? Store. One store. Storing or houses means it holds one to many register. One store stocks many items. A product catalog contains one to many product description. Don't get confused with product catalog and description. Yes, a product catalog means it has all details about all the products. That product catalog, it may contain one to many product description. This is your description class of the particular product. What it describes many items. Many items are described. Similarly, one ledger, it records or it accounts for one store. You can see this one. Here, all those classes are associated through any of these. A is a role, manager is a role, cashier is a role. Yes, physical part. A ledger is a physical part. Like this, you have to identify and you have to draw the domain model in a sensible way. Okay. So one sale captured on. Similarly, product catalog is used by whom? By the store. In the store, you are having the catalog. That catalog contains what? Description of all the products. That product description will describe the items, many items. Yes, in this way, you have to draw the partial domain model. Got it? We'll see this monopoly in the next class. This is the way of drawing the partial domain model. We can browse in it. There are plenty of diagrams, plenty of images given for many case studies. You can have a look at it. You'll get more idea. Got it? So with this, I'll stop today's lecture.